People that don't ride ask all the time, what does it feel like riding a bike? And they're assuming it's going to be scary. And to be honest, when you first are learning how to ride, it's scary as crap. That's one of the biggest barriers to entry for people that think they want to ride a motorcycle but aren't sure. Well, one, you've got the preconceived notion that it's so much more dangerous than being on the road in a car or whatever. And to a point it is. But we'll talk about that later. But just the pure and simple act of getting on a bike and learning how to ride is scary. Everything you do for the first time is scary because you don't know what's going on. You have to actually hold the bike up and balance or you're going to fall. And it don't matter how fast or how slow you're going. Nobody wants to fall. They're scared to fall. So you got that to deal with. But you get over it pretty quick as you're learning. I mean, think of anything else that's worth doing that you've ever had to learn how to do from scratch in your life. It may not have been exactly scary, but you were not good at it the first time you tried it. That's the point of having to learn. So don't equate not being good at something right off the bat and having to learn how to do it with it being somehow dangerous or scary or any of that business. Because once you learn the basics and you get to where you're comfortable sitting in the seat, holding yourself upright and making little basic maneuvers and being on the road, it becomes just as second nature as being in a car driving it. I mean, honestly, there's a whole different mindset you have to have going from a car to a motorcycle. Because of that level of vigilance you have to have. There's so many more things on the road that can cause you a problem on a motorcycle than there are in a car. And you can't just turn the radio on, get the air conditioner set to that perfect point to where you just kind of zen out. And you know, sometimes you get in the car and take off, and once you get rolling good, you zone out. And by the time you get back into your own head and start thinking about stuff, you've somehow arrived at wherever it is you were going. And you may or may not know exactly how you got there, you know, because you just zoned out the whole time and kind of went on autopilot. You can't do that on a bike. You've got to be 100% aware for every inch of road you cover. That doesn't inherently make it more dangerous if you're the type of person that can hold that kind of level of concentration and enjoy it. Which that's what most of us that continue to ride are like. It's, whoa, see what I'm talking about? Exactly that right there. Luckily I saw him coming when he was still on the other side of that truck, and I knew he was coming. But that would have been bad if he'd have got up under my front tire. Been really bad. And a car, you do that, I mean, it sucks because you hit somebody's dog that day and you might have done a little bit of damage to your front bumper. But that guy back there would have sent me over the handlebars and tore up my bike pretty bad, I'm sure. So, you know, you got to always be watching out for stuff like that. And when it's going to happen, it's never not going to happen. I don't care how long you ride, something like that's always going to come up. you have to kind of have the attitude that, you know, just because it was a close call, if you didn't wreck and you didn't get hurt, you got to chalk that up as a non-event and be able to go on about what you're doing without being too shook up. Otherwise, honestly, you probably shouldn't be on a motorcycle, because sooner or later you're going to freak out and overreact, and either you're going to get hurt or somebody else is going to get hurt, or something else bad's going to happen. And that's not the goal. Not at all. We're out here to have fun. Not out here to whine about how dangerous everything in the world is. This is definitely one of those things where scaredy cats need not apply. Because you may ride for a little while, but if you're afraid of every little thing in the world, you're not going to enjoy this for very long at all. Probably until the first big bad thing happens to you. You're going to be done, and then you've bought a bike, you've bought gear, you've got all this time invested into learning how to do some basic skills, and then you just give it all up because it scares you too much. So while I would encourage anybody that's really put serious thought into getting a bike to go ahead and do so, because having more of us out here on the road for traffic to be aware of is never a bad thing. While it's good to have as many of us out here on the road together as possible, on the other hand, there's some people that really, before they make that decision and get a motorcycle, they need to take a good long hard look at their personality, I guess. Because like I say, if you're a scaredy cat, this is probably not the activity for you.